Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Rebecca and I'm bringing you Dollar Tree DIYs. So I have been browsing West Elm online and today I am bringing you these really easy Dollar Tree DIYs that are inspired by some of the beautiful pieces I've seen online from West Elm recently. Super easy, cheap, affordable to make. Be sure to let me know which one is your favorite. I honestly have a really hard time picking which one is my favorite, but it might be the one that is actually a recreation of one that I did last year, and I'm going to link that video. I think it turned out so amazing, so I'm gonna link that. But this one is another way of recreating that lantern. And you guys, it literally costs under $1 to make. I'm so excited for you guys to see it, so I hope that you're gonna enjoy. Let me know which one's your favorite. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoy it, and let's jump in.
So the first one was inspired by this vase from West Elm with these unusual handles. I took one of these glass vase bottles from Dollar Tree and removed the little cap part. And then I made a mistake, but I'm gonna tell you how to fix it because I think it could turn out better than mine did. So it was raining outside and I decided to just pull out some chalk paint and paint this bottle white, and then take two handles from these white plastic buckets from Dollar Tree. These come 3 for $1, and I actually had these left from a DIY that I did at Christmas time. I just cut the little handle knob parts and then glued the flat handle pieces onto the sides of the bottle to kind of look like the one from West Elm. Now, as I was taking chalk paint to this and then even going in with some darker grayish brown colored chalk paint to create even more of a rustic, aged, antique, vintage look, I realized that what would have looked better and would have also looked more like the one from West Elm would be if I had just glued the little handles in place first and then just did a coat of white spray paint over the entire thing. I think it would have looked so much better, a lot cleaner and neater and more like theirs, but it does depend on the style that you're going for. Do you like the more rustic antique look, or would you like the sleeker look of theirs better to go with some spray paint? Honestly, sometimes we try crafts that don't work out exactly like we hoped, so I figured I would share it anyway, but definitely keep in mind that of course the handles are only lightly glued on for decor purposes only, but it does look pretty on a shelf. Okay, the next one turned out really good and it was really cheap and easy to do. I'm starting with this gold glitter outline square mirror from Dollar Tree. I had gotten this one back around the holidays, and they usually carry the ones without the glitter, which would be perfect. But since this one already has glitter on it and I don't want the glitter part, the best way I could think of to just cover it up seems to be a nice coat of chalk paint. Nice thick brown or black chalk paint to fill it in and cover it up. So that is what I did. I painted 4 wooden skewer sticks to match as well. And once the paint was dry, I hot glued the flat edges of the skewer sticks to each corner of the mirrored square and angled them up in toward the center so that the 4 points would meet up in the center. And then I added a little bead on top of the points with some hot glue to help keep everything connected. Of course, Dollar Tree sells whole packs of beads like this for $1, and you can paint it to match whatever color you're doing your lantern in. Now, the tricky part is getting a handle, and what I'm doing is cutting a piece of wired floral rope. I took off the jute twine outer part, and I'm just shaping a little piece of the wire from the inside into a circle, and then threading that in through a second bead with some hot glue on top here to connect the ends in there. And of course, I glued it on and painted the whole thing black to match the rest of my lantern, and I think it looks really cool and modern. If you do want to be able to move the handle up and down, I would recommend that as the glue is drying, you do bend it back and forth a few times just so that it has a little bit of flexibility when it dries and it's not totally rigid. That seemed to work pretty well for me, although I would recommend that the handle is pretty much for decor purposes only. I wouldn't try to carry the whole weight of this just because we are just simply gluing these items together to look really cute. But at least this way I can position the handle upward or downward, just depending on my preference. And I do recommend an LED flameless candle in here for safety, just so that the wood doesn't get too hot. I do have another idea for this one though, and I am gonna try to probably create something similar in a larger version, doing it a different way. and I think I'm going to make that one gold. So stay tuned if you want to see the next recreation of this one. But anyway, next I was inspired by the clay, white, and terracotta planters West Elm has. And stay tuned if you like this style, because I do have more creations like this coming in a video soon if you like the style of these. But anyway, for today, I'm using a Dollar Tree planter that was already in the perfect clay terracotta color, and it even has lines that you can use to help you paint the white bands on here by either creating them with a chalk marker, painting them on with some chalk paint, or even using painter's tape, neatly following along the lines already on this pot, and then just spray painting your lines white. I am moving one of my little escarole plants into here inside, and we will see how it does. It will be protected from bugs in the house, but it might outgrow this pot. I'm not sure. If you have grown escarole, let me know how much room and what size container you think it will need. Now the next one is a redo from one I did last year, so if you want to see another way to create this West Elm inspired candle holder lantern piece, I will have that video linked up top here as well as down below in the info box and also at the end of this video for you. But seriously, you guys, I made this candle holder for under $1. So you'll need 24 large wooden popsicle sticks from Dollar Tree, and you'll want to neatly cut the rounded tips off while leaving the stick part as long as possible. And then I took a little bit of wood glue and connected 4 wooden sticks by overlapping the ends to make a square. Go ahead and make 6 squares like this. Once that's dry, now comes the tricky part, and for this, I'm borrowing some of Kylie's old Play-Doh for this. I made 4 balls and stuck the points of the squares down into the Play-Doh ball, and then I lined them up into a square shape so that the side points of each square would be the same height and could all be touching and could be glued together. Now, you could use wood glue for a stronger hold, but I had no patience for that today and I was in a hurry, so I used hot glue and I pressed the corners together. I did hold them in place as I did them, and 30 seconds, maybe a minute, just to actually let the glue really dry so they would stay in place, and they did stay in place really well. And then I did the same thing with connecting the points of another square for the top and the last one for the bottom. It can be a little bit tricky and you might need to kind of push or pull a square in. They didn't line up 100% perfect, so if you're having trouble getting yours lined up 100% perfect, they can be lined up perfectly. But I had trouble getting mine totally lined up 100% perfect, but that's okay. And if you do want to, you can take a little bit of twine and you could wrap the corners like that and glue that on there if you like the way that looks. Of course, you could reinforce it with some wood glue in the corners just to give it some extra stability. Again, I'll link the video with a different way of creating this lantern if you want to see another option that's maybe it's thicker and larger. If you want to see a different way of doing it, I also stained that one a dark walnut color, but I think that the light wood is pretty for summer and also would go really, really well with coastal decor. If you've seen the coastal decor and beach and nautical DIYs that I did recently as well, I will have those videos linked down below for you if you want to check them out, but this would totally work so well with them. The other thing that you could do is add a little mirror in the bottom. The Dollar Tree little square mirrors would fit so perfect and so beautifully in the bottom of this little lantern. And honestly, I think it looks so pretty. I really feel like it is the finishing touch on here. So totally optional, but it does look really pretty if you like that look. So now for the last one, I spray painted a Dollar Tree vase black, and then I took a loaded paintbrush with white paint and I tapped it all over the vase. I didn't actually touch the vase, but I just tapped the paintbrush and let the paint fall onto the vase and fall where it may. Acrylic paint should work as well as chalk paint. My chalk paint bottle is pretty old and it was actually kind of thick and gloppy, but I do appreciate that the thick drips of paint you're basically throwing onto your vase will dry a bit quicker and drip a bit less when you use chalk paint instead of acrylic paint. So totally up to you, but just keep that in mind. Anyway, I wish you a beautiful and blessed day. Let me know your favorite DIY in this video. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already, and join our YouTube family. And I look forward to seeing you guys all soon in the next one.